I'm pretty sure this rant specifically will be pretty short, mostly because I feel like it's very self-explanatory in a way. It's not anything like too crazy. I just felt like I wanted to talk about it a little bit. I feel like there's always like consistent incidents of this happening, especially when artists do specific trends or posts that have to do with personal progress, like the 2019 art style to now, or old art style, new art style. You know what I'm talking about? Like on TikTok with the implement of the slideshow feature, I saw a lot of these become a lot more common, and I feel like on those types of posts tends to happen too. My problem here, and I think the general issue here, is the way people react when art styles become different. And I mean that in a way that it's not specifically as conventionally like attractive in a way, because there are specific like conventionally attractive art styles, or art styles that are generally more appealing to people, especially when that artist had one of those art styles and then goes into something different. There tends to be a lot of similarity in the comment section. It's just such a common incident where artists kind of go, oh yeah, look, here's my old art and my new art, and then they get an influx of comments that are just like berating their new art style, saying it looks weird, and in a couple of these cases they just leave the platform altogether because of people like this. You know, it's not cool. And I think it was one of the more bummer things about doing trends is you'd always kind of have to worry about getting these types of comments, or the comment section leaning towards that type of mindset. And I think there's a couple things to discuss. And first and foremost, I do want to say, it is okay to have art style preferences. Like, you know, not all art styles are for everybody. There's obviously ones that people gravitate towards more, and of course there's also some that people don't exactly like, and that's completely fine. You know, what you like is completely up to you. That being said, you don't have control over other people's art styles. If they decide to change their art style to something that they like more individually, that shouldn't really matter to you. And I don't really see the point in voicing an opinion so negatively on people's progress posts, going, I liked the old one better. Because I'm not exactly sure what the point is saying that, you know? It's like, good for you. You want a cookie? Because the artist is happy with their art style now. That's what they want to draw. It's just baffling, I think, that it's just a commonplace to kind of do that to artists. Even if they try to word it nice, it still does come off in a mean way. That's why I never really do progress posts on TikTok, because of the fear of that kind of happening. And it did kind of happen to me at some point, where I did a remake of one of my old animation memes back in like the ones that I made in 2019. I was like, oh, let me remake this in my art style. And to be clear, my old art style was very novice anime beginner art style, right? It's very close to what you would expect from artists at the time. And obviously now, my art style is very exaggerated, especially in that animation. I think it wasn't the greatest, right? I can look back at it now and go, yeah, maybe it did look a little bit weird. But holy cow, those comments fried me, dude. And I think there's just a general thing where people focus more on what they don't like out of an artist rather than the good things that do come out of it, right? Because there's a lot of really wonderful things, and you can like generally see improvement in these people's art. This happens especially, as I've said like multiple times in this video already, to exaggerated or less appealing art styles to general people. Because somebody's like making specific features, you know, more squished, more elongated. Like, for me, I like doing long faces. If that wasn't obvious by, like, my 10 million gigantic faces, guys. It's just kind of like, yeah, that was intentional. And I get it, you know. The art styles themselves are not going to be as liked by people, I think. But you could at least word it nicer, you know, at the very least. And I don't know. It's just kind of bizarre to me when I see people kind of comment that on random artists, like, progress posts, because it should be a good thing to, like, look back at your art and then go, yeah, I'm proud of where my art is now. And instead, they get people, like, talking about art regression. And that word is so watered down on ArtTok, where anything that people don't like when it comes to those types of posts is labeled art regression. And it's just not the case ever, usually, like 90% of the time. But, you know, again, you do not control other people's art styles. If they are happy with the way their art style looks now, that's up to them. You don't have to go, yeah, you should keep your old art style. Go back to your old art style. No. I don't know. I just wish that, like, more people were uplifting in those types of posts. As soon as I see one of them and know that, like, the art style now is heavily different from the older one in specific ways, I can just, like, tell what the comments are going to be. And it's sad. And I don't know. I feel like that's, like, a general thing that happens on ArtTok. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this, of course. As always, you know, I'm always up for discussion on this. And yeah. Bye.